Hello YouTube, how's everyone going? So today we are looking at covering a match that's probably not as well known or as high profile as some of the other matches, but we believe that it's going to be quite an interesting match. So we are going to cover the we are going to cover the 2386 match against, I believe, 17, let me double check. So this is not in realm of Horus, this is actually in realm of Bastard, and this is the match we are looking at covering. So we got all the details here. We got CPFW Club Ping Free World, that's from Kingdom 2386. For realm of Anubis, 3.4 billion power is pretty good. And on the other side, we got LX17 Legion, and that's from Kingdom 2217, and the power almost identical at 3.4 billion. So this match starts in the next 10 minutes, and this is what we want to watch. The reason why we want to watch it is because when we played against 2386 in this KvK, they were amazingly organized. It actually felt like we were playing against a mini 1v. And that's why we thought we cover their Ark match and see how well do they actually do in Ark. And for a team that's that organized in KvK, must be pretty good in Ark as well. Now at 13 UTC, we do have a few other matches that are probably quite interesting, and that's in Horus. And one of those matches, I mean, the JST match probably not going to be that interesting. JST should, have a easy win here. 1v probably will have an easy win here. The NANV match, on paper, I think it looks interesting, but then based on what we see from NANV, I have to suspect that this may not turn out to be as interesting. If anything, this is the other match that I'm going to be quite interested in. So 74 NV with 5.4 billion power versus Blackpink from Kingdom 1021, and that's 3.2 billion. And you know what? There's a good chance that 1021 can put up a very good fight in this match. So if anything, we'll keep an eye and we'll go check this match. 74 NV versus 1021. Now, if you guys are interested in the other matches, I'm pretty sure there's going to be quite a few people probably streaming the NANV versus 1412A Hawks match. So rather than that, I'm going to try to keep an eye out on the 74 NV versus Blackpink, but mainly we're going to start off in realm of Bastard, and we're going to look after this match, CPFW versus LX17. Now, we are not probably going to stream a lot of Sobek matches or Bastard matches. From the next round, I think we are going to pretty much stick to Horus, because, that's the end game situation, end game kingdoms you have there. So we're probably going to be focusing more on these matches. But then during this group stage, I thought we kind of wander around and check these matches out. Now let's see the history of these teams so far, how well they have been doing. Now if we go into schedule, then we can probably see what they have been doing. So Blackpink is actually number one, but that's because JST played 74 NV previously and 74 NV lost, so that doesn't make 1021 the top team. But anyways, that's the match we're going to keep an eye on. But then mainly, where's the other match that we want to check? The main match that we were looking at checking out, where's our match? Oh, I'm checking in Horus, sorry. We gotta check in Bastard. So the match in question is actually gonna be in Bastard, and we are looking at this over here. So Group C, Bastard Group C, you got LX17 with 1 point, and you got CPFW with 1 point. So pretty much whoever wins this, firstly surely progresses to the next round. And then you kind of have the group winner from this as well. So this is one of the matches that we want to keep an eye on, basically mainly start with. Now, how did they go in their previous matches? CPFW won against 39OW pretty convincingly. Now 39OW was pretty powerful, 3 billion, so it wasn't really an easy team or anything. And then when it comes to LX, they played against 70GL. Now I don't think that team was that strong. 2.3, yeah, that team wasn't that strong. So in terms of this matchup, with similar powers and the bettings were pretty similar as well, that's why we thought it's going to be interesting. Now speaking of betting, I did place my bets in my main account. I actually forgot to place my bets in the old account, but let's check out my main account anyways. What bets have we got here? So league bets, and so yeah, so I put a little bit, or 1/3 I should say, not little bit, 1/3 of what I had on did I put it on 74 NV? I did put it on 74 NV. I wasn't sure, like this match looked pretty close, so I wasn't sure which way I was gonna go, but okay, well, it looks like we went on 74 NV. So as much as I think 1021 has a good chance of putting a good fight and maybe even winning, I don't know why I put that bet in. It was very late last night. So that's all I have here in Horus. And in Anubis, I don't have any bets in Anubis. Okay, what about Bastet? All right, we got quite a bit of a bet on Bastet. We got CPFW, where we went with a little bit, and that's the match we are watching. Now, surely I bet something else on Horus. Is that it? Does it look like some of my, money is missing? Did I put money on Sobek then? No. Was there a second match in Bastet where I put it in? No. Anubis? No. Okay, maybe that's all I had. So 2000. Oh, actually, yeah, it makes sense. I probably had about 3000 something to start off with. And then this is the way we kind of went. All right. So we're in Kingsland actually still. So you know what? We can even check out which alliance we are talking about here. Let's see if they're here. We see their friend alliance here, CPLW, but we are looking for this one. Yes, CPFW. 10F5. Hello, Trung. Hey man, how are you going? So this is the alliance in question, guys. Let's check. So they got 1 star. It's a 10.3 billion alliance. And members, can we look at members? So this is something we usually don't get to do. The leader, pretty decent kills, pretty nice power, nice kills as well. Keeping in mind, this is a kingdom for 2000 plus. So for 2000 plus, the powers and the kills obviously very impressive. I mean, I know that some of these players may have migrated back, but regardless, okay, this one isn't that high. But then, yeah, the key thing here is 2386. And we almost couldn't tell the difference between 2386 and 1V, which is why I'm kind of interested to see how they go. Now, this is obviously their final lineup because, with 5 minutes left for the match to start, they would have the R4s and everything sorted out. So I guess these are the people that are playing as well. Yep. So I wish I could kind of read out some of the names. Yeah, probably not. There's a couple of names we can read out. Jilua and La Vega. That's pretty much it, I guess. So it doesn't look like there's a lot of power players here, right? Beyond the R4s. Like if you look below at R3, there isn't a lot of 100 mil. Well, not a single 100 mil so far, right? Unless I skip through one accidentally. Well, there's 95. LX17 is 95. And what else have we got? Well, there's... Oh, actually, probably the rank 2s are playing Ark, right? Like usually that's how some people, reorganize it. So this is where you have quite a bit of power coming in. So you got 109, 98, 133. Again, not that I can read the names, but then you can see quite a lot of power players here. 150, 113. And I have a feeling the people in this alliance, they're actually quite spendy as well. Because when we were fighting against them, it didn't feel like, they had too much of a difference compared to 1v, as in their equipment maybe a little less, but then in terms of crystal tech, that was pretty good. Now, crystal tech obviously doesn't count in their Ark match, but then, people that spend obviously have a little bit of an advantage in Ark. Well, quite a bit of advantage, I would say. And then look at this guy. He's actually using a whale picture. So see, like you don't have to read his name. You can tell from the picture he's a whale. You don't even have to look at the power. But if you look at the power, you get confirmation. 288 million power. New subscriber, thank you. Thank you for your support, man. Now, kills 7.6, pretty decent, pretty nice. Quite high, actually. Why am I saying pretty decent? Deads are very nice, 74. But anyways, these are KvK stats. These are not Ark stats. We got Rome here as well with 181. That's a lot of power. All right. So I believe that we have an interesting match in our hands. This is where we are taking a little bit of a risk in terms of watching a match that, isn't that high profile, but we're gonna watch it regardless. And then, you know what, if the match isn't interesting, then we can always try to switch. Now, again, have to say that I'm not whitelisted by Lilith, because Lilith doesn't really love me or anything. So in terms of us getting out of a match and trying to get into another one, I'm sure we can't get into one of the more popular matches, but then we can kind of try to look around. So I will prefer not to leave a match, because then it kind of gets risky in terms of getting back. All right, I think we are there. I think we just got a minute left. So we are about to start the match. Let's go to the Ark screen. Where do we need to go? Osiris League. By the way, we got our match in 2 hours time. That's why I'm not streaming the 15 UTC time slot. Now, I have a question. Is this gonna stay here, that Lost Kingdom thing? I think it's gonna stay on the map. You know what I need to do? I need to TP back home, just so that the Lost Kingdom, that icon thing, doesn't come up on an Ark match. I don't know whether it will, but, just in case. Lost Kingdom finished anyways, hence that icon thing. Now, Osiris League. Watch. Has the match started? Well, it hasn't, but they should be starting pretty soon. So again, people, viewers that are just logging in now, we got CPFW from Kingdom 2386 versus LX17 from Kingdom 2217. And this is Realm of Bastard. So the match should start any minute now. We're gonna go out and try to see. Yep, they are starting. I'm a little late in clicking, but this is not one of the matches that's gonna get full straight away. All right, let's see what we got. CPFW versus LX17, Osiris League Season 2. And on the left in blue, we have CPFW from 2386 with 3.4 billion power. So they're going to be playing in the blue. And on the right-hand side, we have LX17 in red from Kingdom 2217, 3.4 billion power as well. So identical power. It's definitely just going to come down to strategy, and you can see the key components in the background. I can't read out any of the names, but then you know how it is. These are the players that has been doing good, whether it be their kill scores or their gathering or arc score, anything like occupation score, provision score, things like that. Now in the middle, we have the beautiful timer here where it says in a minute's time the match is going to start, and then we have to pay respect to 1v as the last season's winner, and there you go. So I think 1v is playing today as well, but the 1v match, 1v should, you know, kind of do a walkover, so we're not going to pay too much attention to it. So yeah, pretty much the players that we saw in R2 and R4, they're the ones playing. So I'm just clicking on the cities just to see the power. So pretty much everyone is around that 100 mil power, slightly over or slightly lower, with, you know, that guy with the whale pick and whale power 288, but, you know, most of them are around the 100 mark. Tian Viet Q, hello bro, hey man, how you going? So we definitely have a very good feeling about this match. This is going to be a very good match. Yeah, but then that's just a feeling, right? We don't know whether it's going to be a good match until it starts, and it's going to start in 8 minutes time. Ooh, that was 582 million power at all right, so we got matches going out. First up, we got the KvK going out, and then we got another KvK going out. These are the two matches that's gonna go for the first fast occupation of the obelisk. And on the left hand side, we got something similar, but rather than, I think we actually had a proper one troop on the other side, but over here you got the full marches with T1 obviously. Sorknap, why no one broadcast JST? Lol, I want to watch their game. JST is gonna win that for sure, man. JST is gonna win their match for sure. It's not gonna be that interesting, and so will 1v. That's why I thought I kind of go for a match that's probably gonna be more interesting. Now, I understand that a lot of people would be interested in watching the JST or 1v or NV match, but then this is at least gonna be a recording. People can refer back to it later on. Now, we got both sides using hard push. So both sides using hard push. They're not saving points for the middle, extra points for the middle. They're going for hard push. Now, let's see who kind of starts getting the occupation first. Now, the first building that is touched by red is the outpost. Now, blue, it doesn't look like has touched on any one of their buildings now. Well, they just touched one, so outpost. So the outpost in the middle touched by blue, not the outside outpost. Okay, they just touched one of them. So the cows or chows or double C's, however you want to say it, they should be going through the outpost, right? That way they get a boost. Now, when it comes to the obelisk, the blue team has entered their obelisk with their KvK, so they were a little bit faster. The red team there, it's a little bit slower, so blue has both of their obelisks, and red just touched the last one now, so a little bit of an advantage to the blue team. They got all the outposts, and they started with their obelisk capture earlier. Now, both sides using hard push. You'll see these buildings converting pretty soon, but then the next thing we want to see, where are the marches going? Who is going to push the desert altars? Bro, which team did you bet on? I bet on this one, man, the blue team over here, which is CPFW, and I did bet on the other team, 74NV, the one that's playing against 1021. Now, we want to check the rallies, and let's see what are the rallies that are going on. So not rallying the enemy obelisks at all. So the blue team is not rallying the enemy obelisk at all. No, they are. This is the they are rallying. They are rallying the enemy obelisk. They're not. They don't have a rally on their own obelisk. What about the blue team? I mean the red team. The red team's rally is going. Okay, there's something interesting here. They're rallying cross. So how is that rally coming across? Oh, that's kind of weird, right? Like you'd normally see the rally coming this way. I don't know why the rally is coming through the middle. But anyways, we'll leave it at that. Now, let's see where the building pressure starts. Let's go to the desert altar. Now, the blue team has their desert altar kind of covered. Red has a rally going. It's a XY rally. I'm sure they're going to cancel it. There's no point going for the obelisk anymore. But then will they? Let's see. Now, blue canceled their rally already. So they're not pressuring the enemy altar on this side. They're just going for their own desert altar, and the rally is not cancelled from red. Red is still going for the obelisk. Now going for the obelisk, the cities have ported in. That's not a good idea. So that is not gonna really do much. Now on the bottom side, red again, yep, red is actually going for the rally. It's a cow rally. So I mean, you know, the only thing that I can think is they are trying to, I mean, no, it's a Nevsky and it's not T1. I thought they're trying to get some points early on, but that's not necessarily the case. Now, the blue team, what they have done is they have put a Jadwiga there. So obviously Jadwiga YSS can defend that, no problem. Now, the altar, sky altar, that's usually not contested, but fighting has started around the desert altar. So blue has started pressuring the desert altar on the red side, and they are pushing in. They have more marches, so blue may actually get the first occupation here. Now red team try rallying crusader flag. Red team is Ajar, Assalamu alaikum. Walaikum assalam, brother. How are you going? So the desert altar, the red team is not putting any pressure on the desert altar, which is shocking to see, which is actually shocking to see. Has the red team, what's the red team doing? Red team is trying to defend their shrine of war. Why are you defending your shrine of war? Shouldn't you be pushing on this desert altar? That's the meta right now. So the red team is not doing a good job with that, and the blue team has taken over the desert altar. So CPFW coming up with the goods, a better strategy, and they are not, they put in a Jadwiga as well. So you can see there's a Jadwiga there. Now the forward flag, I don't know whether it's going to be a Jadwiga and YSS. Yes, it is a Jadwiga and YSS. It's probably better to have a YSS in the forward flag, because you're not necessarily, I mean, not forward flag, forward building, because not necessarily you can put all calves there. But either way, it looks like the occupation for that is going to go in blue's favor. Now all the other buildings, they're kind of evenly spread. This is the only desert altar where they have an advantage. All right, now the guy over here, Sneaky, he is doing a sneaky rally on the obelisk, because the obelisk is about to come down. Is it? No, they're aware. The blue team is aware. The blue team is putting marches in, so they're having this, they're having the red rally kind of occupied there. The rally is not going to win, but that rally kind of stays occupied. Now other than that, desert altar, this is the main area where there's action going on, and then blue has cleared red out of it. So CPFW doing a good job at the start. Now we thought the match is going to be interesting. We still do hope that it's going to be interesting, but blue is showing early signs of dominance. Now from the Shrine of Life, the red team is going to push up to the sky altar, but then the sky altar has a decent number of defenders there. So see, there's quite a lot of defenders in front of the sky altar over there. There's marches that are going through from the red side, but the marches are probably even in numbers. So unless a rally comes in, that building is not going to switch hands anytime soon. And after getting the first occupation, the blue team from the desert altar, from the red team, they have started walking towards the middle. So they're not going in from their side. They're taking the shortcut and they're walking towards the middle with 4 minutes 55 left. Malicious, is the red team at 30 versus 30 strength? That is a good question. They should be. Yep, it's a 30 versus 30 strength. The red team and the blue team, they have the same power, and the red team is a solid team. They got 3 stars. It's not like they don't take the game seriously. So with the exact same power, you can see the difference in strategy. So the blue team has 740 points per minute, whereas the red team has a 410. And if you look at the middle, with 4.5 minutes left, you have to start going to the middle, and you can see the blue team kind of doing it, but then I don't see red kind of going for middle. Now red losing the desert altar, is that something they're bothered by, or you know, they're doing kind of a non-middle strategy? It's kind of hard to say. Red could be kind of occupied here. So the red sky altar was under pressure. Is there a rally? No, there's not a rally. I mean, the rally maybe got cancelled or died, I guess, more than cancelled. and then you can see a lot of red marches with really low health. Now by the time these marches refresh, obviously you don't want to go to middle like this. By the time these marches go home and refresh, even though home is pretty close, by the time they get to the middle, it could be a little too late. Now we got 3.5 minutes left. Look at the forward position from the blue team. They are standing almost at the gates, so the temple where the Ark will spawn is kind of clear. Now you got more blue marches coming in, obviously. Now one of the things that blue didn't do that well, I guess, is keeping the outposts garrisoned properly. So they probably didn't have a garrison, and I think a red march has walked around and then turned 2 of the obelisks blue. I mean, not obelisk, outposts. And then it's not like they're sending proper garrisons either now. So even after they take that building, it's not like they're keeping it garrisoned. So now, somewhere around here, there's probably a red march walking around. So see, that's what that KvK is doing. So that KvK is going around buildings. Now let's see if blue actually have put in a garrison here, or have they forgotten about garrisoning the outposts. Now this is quite annoying and quite smart from red, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't make up for not sending enough marches in the middle. Yep, so see, they didn't have a garrison. So they should probably have 1 march in that garrison, in that outpost, I mean. Now look at the forward marches here in the middle with 2 minutes left. In a minute, if red committed to it, in a minute's time there should have been marches there, and the red team doesn't have enough marches there. Now let's have a look whether red is actually trying to put pressure on the buildings. Red had a rally going there, but I don't see any other marches around here. So red tried to pressure the blue desert altar with not much of a luck. They're trying to pressure this shrine of war as well, but that rally is gonna die. Now these marches should probably let the rally be, and there you go. They're doing a smart thing here. They're letting the rally die rather than trying to storm the rally down. They're going to the middle, which is better because it keeps the red marches occupied here. No point sending that rally home faster, right? Now on the left hand side, the rally, yes, it's an XY rally as well. So the red team is favoring XY a lot, Cav rallies, and not that they're having a lot of luck with it. So this building actually may fall. What do you guys think? I think this building may actually fall because the XY Nevsky rally is pretty full. The garrison looks a little weaker. 1 more march went into the garrison. The garrison may need a 1 or 2 more march support, and now you see the marches coming in. So I don't think this building can convert, can it? Nope. You see the health of the building kind of going up, so I don't think this is actually going to be that good for red. Now going around and checking, red has managed to take the desert altar back, but then by holding the desert altar for a little bit longer, has red kind of disrupted blue a lot. Well, we were thinking red's not gonna show up in the middle, but look at that now. Even though red came late, red came in big numbers. The Ark has 17 seconds to spawn, and red, because blue had a forward position, did they get a little disorganized? Because it doesn't look like the blue marches are quite stacked up. From LX17 we get mystical formation, and they're engaging. We got mystical formation from blue as well, but then as much as red came late, red came with more numbers, and red has kind of overturned the situation in the middle with their presence. Malicious, interesting mid, yes, definitely. So one of the things the red team actually did is, rather than engaging with the marches straight up, they actually, some of their marches went left, some of their marches went right, and then engaged at the middle. So they kind of had a, you know, wide mouth open to slap it shut on blue, if that even makes sense, like a, you know, crocodile biting into the, you know, blue flesh of the blue team. Now you have a lot more red coming in. Both teams used, on top of mystical formations, both team actually used war drums as well. Now the Ark is picked up by blue, and the Ark is actually going slowly towards the blue side. Now red, despite their presence, didn't manage to capture the Ark. Quick hands in the Ark situation definitely helps. Now that Nevsky carrying the Ark is quite low, and it is going to come down. There's quite a bit of red marches around, but it has gone quite a lot in towards the towards the blue side. Now in terms of the middle, I still think there's more red marches here, and there's more red marches coming in. As you can see, the red marches are coming in all the time, but I don't think I see as many blue marches coming in. I do see quite a lot of blue faces going back though. Now, has blue managed to turn the situation around in terms of the buildings? Yes, blue did manage to take over the Shrine of War. They put in an Attila there. It was probably an Attila to get a rally, but then red just took it back, and red is still sending rallies on the sides as well. So neither team has forgotten about the buildings game, but then at the same time, the presence in the middle, well, now it's confusing. Now I think we see more blue, right? Congrats, CPFW. Good job, Isan. Well, it's not over yet, but I think in the middle now it's a little bit more blue. It's hard to tell. Well, what's easy to tell is in the mid fight, neither one of the teams actually put in too many numbers. Neither one of the sides actually put too much of a commitment for middle, and the Ark has been picked up by this one from the blue side, and the Ark is going back. All right, so we can now safely say that the mid fight has been won by the blue team, because the Ark is safely going back to the Shrine of War, I would say. Are they going to the shrine? Are they? Where is the Ark? Yes, the Ark is going towards the shrine. I don't know whether it goes towards the shrine. It could. No, it doesn't. It's actually going to their starting zone. Why they're not going for the shrine? Because is the shrine under rally? Yes, the shrine is under a rally. You got an XY rallying the Shrine of War. And then it's not like there's a lot of marches around the shrine, so the XY may take it. Well, they have quite a lot of marches coming in, so maybe blue can hold on to it, but then maybe blue is playing it safe. Maybe blue wants to hold on to the Ark rather than scoring it straight away. Only time will tell. XY is taking a swarm. There are a few other buildings that are blinking as well. Well, the rally is not going to be successful. Rally is getting swarmed down. All right, now let's see if they go for the Ark in the shrine after, or they still continue going back to their starting zone. There's quite a lot of low marches, which I guess blue is deciding to refresh because there was nothing else to fight in the middle. Now, one of the things we have seen teams do is go for the opponent altars and kind of kill the troops there. Maybe that way it goes home faster, but then blue is actually choosing to take the marches back home. Now, this desert altar was under attack. No longer. Blue safely held it. So technically blue hasn't lost a single building yet. So the blue side buildings, they have kept them occupied the whole time. And is that the case over here with red? No, red, I don't think they lost the Shrine of Life yet. They did lose the desert altar a couple times, and they did lose a Shrine of War once as well. I don't think they lost the sky altar. As I said, I see the sky altar as blue, and there's a lot of blue marches. So whilst going for Ark, blue had their numbers presence up in the buildings game as well, which is why we probably didn't see a lot of players in the middle. So both sides had a lack of players in the middle, I would say. Now the Ark, they are actually going back to their starting zone. Now he's aiming for his own city, so I don't know whether he's actually going to score it or whether he just wants to go there. If he's meant to hold it, then this is not the right place. They should be going for somewhere here, like behind, even better, like here. So a little bit farther from the obelisk on the other side of the buildings. That way the Ark is a little bit safer. So now I'm kind of confused. It looks like he's going to the city. He's actually going to the city. If you're gonna score it already, you could have gone there. Now, is that a strategy where they just want to make sure that they're ready for the next middle fight? Is that why they're going to the building and buying a little bit more time? Maybe, I don't know, that Saladin was following the Ark carrier, but the Saladin isn't gonna be successful. Saladin got stuck halfway through. Now, in terms of the building again, you can see everything pretty much half and half, other than that altar on the side. Now, that shrine had an Amani Torre in garrison. Who did they have with Amani? What was the secondary? It was Artemisia, so they had Amani and Artemisia, probably a rally that took it over. That's why they ended up with Amani Arti, but blue with the Swarm did take it back. Red took it back, but then the Desert Altar, blue took it again. So I think it's kind of safe to say that the blue team has a massive upper hand here. It wasn't as equal, and the things that we were suspecting that blue is going to be very strong based on their KvK performance. So we got one more 1v sort of KD coming up, which is going to be extremely strong in Ark, extremely organized. CPFW is showing those signs, so I think we can safely bet on CPFW in future, right? Because one of the main signs of whether you're a good team, at least from my point of view, is when you take the forward buildings, can you put a garrison straight away, like a proper garrison? And they can, because you got a Jadwiga there. Now the other altar blue took earlier, that had a Amani Torre Artemisia as well, so that's a proper garrison as well. Not probably as strong, but still a proper garrison for taking forward buildings, and at the same time knowing how to, you know, hold on to your buildings. So blue so far, as much as they have been rallied pretty much throughout the whole time, they are not losing their buildings. Now they're not over committing to the buildings either. They just about have the right amount of marches that you need to make sure the building is staying in your favor, committing just the right amount of marches in the middle as well, to make sure that you kind of, you know, play in the middle, get the arc, and not lose buildings at the same time. Whereas red, on the other hand, is sending rallies through non-stop continuously, but then you just see the rally, you don't see marches supporting the rally. Now on this side you have a lot of marches here from red trying to go for the altar, blue altar, but then at the same time you don't have a lot of rallies kind of being you don't have a rally supporting all the red marches trying to swarm, right? You kind of need both at the same time. That's where coordination comes in, and we probably don't see as much from red. So at this stage I kind of can't see blue actually losing this match by any chance, right? I don't see blue actually losing this match at all now. And that's not to do with the score. I mean, yes, there's a little bit of a score difference, but that's not the main thing. The main thing is how the two teams are playing. And as you can see now, blue has started bothering the outposts as well. So I think it's GG. It's only half an hour. I mean, you know, there's still 35 minutes left, but then I think it's actually GG. So what do we want to do? We probably want to see one more arc. Do we? Or do we want to go around and check the scores? Now keep in mind, guys, if we go out of the match, we may not be able to get into it again. So maybe we watch another arc and then we switch around and look for another match. And you know what? Red may have a chance of at the second arc, right? Like after the first arc, you don't want to call a game. You want to check the second arc as well. If blue gets the second arc as well, then, you know, it's GG. Now red again, heavy swarm, but then this is their own desert altar, so there's like no credit for taking it in. And they got a LX in garrison now, not even a proper garrison, even though it's their own building, so it can get swarmed back again and it can turn blue again, which is probably what is gonna happen, and that just happened. So this is the problem, guys, not putting garrisons in buildings. Now blue has Nevsky. Now blue had a proper garrison before, which got swarmed down. So from blue's end, with the remaining marches here, them not having a garrison, probably not like a crime, but yeah. Malicious 1021 versus TR at 15 UTC should be interesting. Will you be casting any more matches today? Hey man, no, I got 15 UTC. I got my own match at VC 56. So I'm actually going to be playing, so I can't cast 15 UTC. That match, I think, to be honest, I thought that match could have been interesting, but then the 1021 team playing in that match, that's not their main team though. So that's their second team. So that team isn't as strong, I would say. So if it was Blackpink, the other 1021 team, then I would say it's going to be very interesting. But you know what? 1021 is a strong kingdom, so yeah, could be. Now guys, everywhere we're looking at, we're seeing a pretty good show from blue. That's 2386, and they just have taken over this obelisk as well. Now for the first time we see a non-proper garrison in the building from blue, and you got an Ethelfled. So I don't know whether they took it from a swarm or a rally, or the rally just died and they swarmed. Either way, it was an Ethelfled, and that building just turned red again. But then it's again a red building. So if you look at the blue buildings, not a single one of them has turned red throughout the whole match. It didn't even feel red is under pressure. I mean, blue is under pressure to hold on to those buildings. They're doing a very good job in terms of holding those buildings. Now, what's red is doing? Red is sending an Attila Takeda rally to the obelisk. What that's gonna achieve, God effing knows. Red should be going to the middle, and we see all the blue marches in the middle. Now, this time around, the red is, not that late. So with 2 minutes left, red is doing a bit of a ball as well, but the ball from blue is better. Now blue this time around, rather than taking that obnoxiously forward position, they're taking more of a traditional position where they're just on the other side of the temple, but not necessarily too forward. Now we do see more blue marches coming in. Now these marches are coming in a little too late. Now the reason why I'm saying a little too late is because we want to see blue as a very strong team, and if you compare to JST and 1V, these marches are probably coming in a little bit late. So maybe they need to work on that a little bit. Look at the stats. Is it 30 versus 30? Yep, at the start it was 30 versus 30. It's still 30 versus 30. So LX17 showed up in full numbers. It's just that blue is playing the match a little bit better probably. Now I don't know who engaged. I think red did, because blue hasn't left it. Now this is a little bit disorganized because we don't see any skills from either team, and both of the teams have a lot more people coming in. So I'm not too sure who engaged, but then I'm not too sure whether that was a good idea. Okay, Heaven's Grace goes off. Heaven's Grace goes off from red, and Mystical Formation and War Drums from blue. Mystical Formation from red as well. So red is going more all in for this mid fight, for this arc. Red has put in more skills points here. The red kind of has to, because if red doesn't win this mid fight, it is GG time. Now even with Heaven's Grace, not too sure. I mean, the timing of Heaven's Grace was a little off. Like, I mean, not the timing of Heaven's Grace, but the fact that they didn't have all the marches fighting. Now these marches are not benefiting from Heaven's Grace, obviously. They're kind of walking in. So again, timing, yes. Now the arc, I think red picked up the arc on this time, and the arc dropped on the right hand side, but then I think blue has picked it up again. Now blue is dragging it back in the middle. I see a lot more blue than red. So when it comes to the blue team, CPFW, they know how to do the mid fights. They had enough numbers, somehow just enough numbers for the first arc fight. Even for the second one, they're doing a pretty decent job to hold on to it against Heaven's Grace, and they're taking it back. Now they only used 4 points for the mid fight, the blue team, so they have more points left over for the third arc. They're probably going to be able to use that as well. Now clear winner blue in terms of the mid fight, and probably clear winner for the match as well. And we see one more building. Whilst blue is taking the arc, they have converted the Shrine of Life from red into blue, and they're going to put pressure on the desert altar. So guys, this is definitely GG territory. Technically they have doubled the points already, but they're gonna have even more points through that arc going in. So red does not have a chance to come back into this match. So that being said, we are going to go out of this match because this is not interesting anymore. Congratulations to 2386. Congratulations to CPFW on their win. So we quit the match. Now the difficult thing is going to be, after we quit the match, can we get in? I don't know if we can get in. Now before we try to get into another match, let's see whether we can check the scores and see which match we kind of want to watch. Okay. Horus, Samsung, too much of an advantage. Justice, too much of an advantage. 1v, too much of an advantage. Nan V, as expected, too much of an advantage. This is quite close. DVL versus Solar Family. This is actually pretty close. Now, this is probably more interesting. This is the other match we wanted to watch. 74NV versus Blackpink. Now, there's a good chance I can't get into this. There's a very good chance I can get into this. You know why I can't get into this? Because there's 200 people already. On top of that, there's one extra person. And that extra person are the... what's it called? White labeled content creators. So people kind of sponsored by Lilith. They can probably get in. Now, I don't think I can get in. For me to get in, like sometimes if you keep doing this, you get lucky. But then for me to get in, I think with 201, I think someone needs to drop out actually. Now let's go and check the other realms if there's anything interesting happening there. 1671 is a decent kingdom fighting against BIA. Wow. And they're actually doing a good job at that. And then what else have you got? This is a good match, but then 60MX is massive score lead against 1008. And yeah, nothing else that interesting. What about Bested? That was the, what match was CPFW we were watching, and they're clear winners. DQ should win this. CPLW, the second team for 2386, looks like they're going to win their match as well, at least at this stage. And there are quite a few other teams that I really don't know much about. 06HS, a lot of people said they're expected to win, but it looks like they're kind of suffering against RR38. Ooh, RR38 is where the team that we are fighting against in KvK with my all 1365. So we can kind of try to take a look at that match. It kind of looks interesting. Maybe just a 1 arc difference. No, it's not a 1 arc difference, because you know what? Red is holding on to an arc, and that's 2338. They got the arc, so there's a 4,000 point difference already with the arc. That's kind of like 8,000 point difference. So this is not that interesting, I guess. Look at the stats. Is 30 versus 30 for LX17? Yep, I think I answered that. Yes, it's 30 versus 30. Now, at this stage, I think all the matches are going to be 30 versus 30. So we thought we checked this out, RR38, but then RR38 is clearly winning this as well. So let's quit. So guys, from now on, we obviously remember, we kind of knew this is the case, so we can't get out of matches, because unlike sponsored creators, we don't have the right to kind of roam around matches, especially matches that are quite tight, quite interesting. We may not be able to get in. Now, the 74NV versus Blackpink, so I try clicking for a little bit longer. If we can get in, then that'll be great. How are the points? The other matches? Yep, this is definitely the closest match. This has to be the closest match. Now, should we have started with this match? We probably could have started with this match. We know Blackpink is a strong team. We know 74NV has a lot of power. And they actually did quite decently with against JST, which is why I did bet on them. Now guys, this used to work before, right? Like even at 200 versus 200, if you keep doing this, usually you get in. Malicious, so this 1021... Blackpink is the main team? Yeah, I think Blackpink is the main team. I think. I'm not 100% sure though, man. Alright, this is, getting annoying and embarrassing. By the way, I did request Lilith, like I emailed them and whatever in their email address and the support people asking whether we can have whitelisting, and they said no. They said next Osiris League. But anyways, We got in the match, and let's see how it's going. It actually looks quite interesting. We got in the middle fight, beautiful timing, and the blue team actually has an upper hand in the middle, right? So blue definitely has all the presence in the middle. I want to see where the Ark is. The Ark just spawned, and it's being picked up by blue at the moment. So a lot of blue marches, in the middle. There's no red, so blue is gonna get that Ark as well. So a part of me is really happy about it, because I do want 74 Envy to win, because I had money on them, and I obviously did want by money I mean coins, and we do want CPFW to win as well, because we have coins on them as well. Oh, we got a Jen Jiska fighting in the middle. Not a good idea. By the way, guys, what do you think about this? How come in KvK we never see Zone Primary, and in Ark we always see Zone Primary? Is this to do with how in KvK you don't want your march to be targeted, that's why you don't use Zone, and in Osiris you don't kind of care if your march dies because you're gonna heal anyways? Is that why you can afford to have that primary? Now what's happening over here is, whilst blue was committing more to the middle, red actually 1021 did a decent job of picking up that desert altar from blue, and they managed to put a Jadwiga there as well. And is it a YSS? I think sorry, I did miss the animation. Could have been a YSS, but either way, they did manage to take the red didn't manage to keep the building. And now we got a Jen Jiska in garrison, the latest garrison cav commander, and we don't know who the who the secondary is, but we have quite a lot of marches from red kind of trying to go for that building. But without the presence of a rally, I don't know whether red can kind of get it. Now red needs to win the building game for sure now, because the Ark is gonna be scored any time now. So where's the Ark going? Where are they going with the Ark? I don't know where they're going. Are they going back to the city? You know, they're gonna walk past. Okay, we'll see. They're gonna walk past the Shrine of War. Now the Shrine of War has some red presence here, which is about to be cleared, and there's an XY rally from red coming in as well. And there's quite a lot of red marches actually going there. So all these red marches, they're going there to intercept the Ark carrier, and they are trying to get the Ark not to the shrine, but they're trying to get it to their starting zone. Whether they're going to be successful, I think so, because all the red marches now are going to get swarmed. So the Ark carrier may get stuck, but then it's not like red can kind of, you know, take it and score it somewhere. I'm sure that they will have this building. I mean, what's the name? 74 NV will have this building kind of garrison, right? But anyways, the Ark carrier is walking strong. Now it's a slow march because it's Ark carrier. On top of that, it's Amanitore, so that's especially slow. But blue has enough marches here to kind of keep that building. Now red has done some good job with the building. So if you look at on the left hand side by red, I mean 1021 has taken over this building. But what do we see over here? Oh my god, we got Wu Zitan. We don't see this scene often, and we got a Wu take over the sky altar from blue. Now red has a lot of marches here, so they're gonna keep this building for a while. They're actually gonna keep this building for a while. See how they have a lot of marches? You're logged on to another device. Hey, I got all my devices here. How did I get disconnected? Oh my god. Is my daughter playing with her iPad and accidentally opened my account? That's a possibility. You know what the sad thing now is? You know how it took us a while to log onto the game? I don't know whether I got disconnected and now we can, you know, not get in again or not. You know, that's bad. That is pretty bad. Let's see if we can get in again. Because we're just looking at our red team in a pretty interesting situation, right? because they had 3 extra buildings. So we keep clicking again. Isan, yeah man, it's called bad luck. I think I think it could be my fault as well. So I may have logged into her iPad, and she was kind of trying to open the game, and she like automatically logged on to our game. Maybe, I don't know. That is unlikely though, which kind of scares me. Can someone else log into my account without me knowing? Because it's 12:41 midnight my time. She shouldn't be awake now. Okay, this is bad. We can't get in again. But just like last time, I think we just have to keep doing this until we get lucky. The point is pretty close. So 74NV hasn't actually deposited the Ark yet. I'm pretty sure they haven't. All right, we got in. So 74NV hasn't scored the Ark yet, so they're gonna hold on to it. They have a points advantage. Well, they don't anymore. They had a points advantage, and 1021 smartly is using hard push because they think they can take over 1 or 2 buildings and quickly convert them. Now blue did the same thing, and blue actually took over 1 extra building on the right hand side. And there is a Jadwiga garrison. There was a Jadwiga garrison. Somehow there's a JC garrison back to Jadwiga now. Alright, so blue has taken over an extra building on the right hand side. Red has an extra building on the left hand side. Captain Jack, thanks for being here, man. It's a shame that channel like Ladus Gaming is not assigned to Osiris League matches by Lilith. Yeah, man. I mean, not just Ladus Gaming. I mean, Lilith should kind of allow people with people who intend to promote their game, I guess, to be able to stream. But then at the same time, like, we got a small channel, and I'm sure there's a lot of other small channels. So I don't know whether Lilith can kind of manage that or how they can manage that. But you know, one of the things they can do, rather than having 200 people who can log in and watch the game at the same time, they can maybe do like, I don't know, you know, 100 for listed YouTubers, 100 normal people, because the other people that are watching in game, they can obviously watch on YouTube as well, right? Who actually watches the game just by themselves rather than, you know, watching it on stream, right? But anyways, let's see how the match is going. Now we definitely got an advantage for blue. So blue is holding 74NV. They got a points advantage. They got a 1000, well, not 1000, they got like, you know, 100 points lead, which is nothing. But then they're generating points per minute more, 500 versus 380. Now on top of that, the main advantage is, I think, because we were not watching the whole match, I think this is, I want to say this is the second Ark. I don't know whether it's the second or third Ark, so at least, you know, 3,500 points sitting there. So definitely points advantage. Now how long they can hold on? They can hold on to the Ark. Blue can hold on to the Ark for another 6.5, 7 minutes almost. So for the last Ark, I don't know whether there's going to be a last Ark. I feel like there isn't going to be a last Ark. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be a last Ark. Now, this March is sitting in between the cities, so he's under no pressure. And you got that red March. Okay, he's not coming for the Ark carrier. That KvK is just going around to kill farmers. Buildings pretty even again. So the buildings under pressure. The red altar is being rallied by Joan. That's a Joan rally. That's a Joan and Attila rally. Now gotta say, I hasn't seen that before. Joan and Attila. So what do you guys think? Is that a good rally? Does that work? Jack, no idea why they're not allowing the game to be broadcasted all over the world. Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, it's promotion for them. Why would they not have that facility, I guess? You know, maybe hopefully they will in the future. Now, Joan Attila, guys, do you have a lot of experience with that? Is that a good rally? Like, it kind of did all right. Like, I don't think I even have seen any testing or anything as such for that. So who knows? But then 74 NV, you know, good team. They kind of know what they're doing. So yeah, that was it. Joan and Attila. Not that that rally won, because the garrison side has a Zenobia, and they're quite well organized in terms of reinforcing that building. Militias, kind of mid. Everything works with Attila. Ah, okay. Kind of mid. So it's not like it's a top rally or anything. Now, Red has not only managed to hold their building, they have managed to take over the desert altar from Blue, and they have put in a Jen Ziska in a garrison. And what's the secondary behind Ziska? Do you know what's the secondary from the animation? Am I missing it? I don't see it. Is that a Joan? Who is the secondary? 1021, understanding the situation, using a insatiable desire. So they're gonna focus a little bit more on farming. Now with 13 minutes left, farming is not a bad idea, but then at the same time, you're not gonna make up the difference of an arc just with farming for 12 minutes. Looks like Joan. Yeah, that's what I thought. Looks like Joan. Okay, so Joan being used in many different ways. So you got a Jan and Joan garrison. That's kind of new to me as well. Rambo, thank you for your subscription. But see, that garrison is holding strong. Red has a lot of presence there, but on top of that, that's holding strong. But then at the cost of winning that desert altar, the sky altar is blue now. And the sky altar, it's gonna remain blue for a while, because again, you got a Jadwiga and YSS in garrison, and Red doesn't have a lot of marches. I mean, it's closer to their city, so they may come and swarm it, but I don't think they will take it without a rally. So they probably need to do a rally. Now Blue is still holding on to the arc. They can hold on to it for another 3.5 minutes. So I don't think we're gonna see a last arc here. Buildings game now in Blue's favor. Unfortunately for Red, it's in Blue's favor. Now Blue does have the arc sitting, so the points advantage, the 300 points that Red is ahead, doesn't really count. On top of that, outposts, you got Blue focusing more on outposts, and Blue definitely saw the insatiable desire, so Blue should really send 1 or 2 cav marches to kill the gatherers around, right? Blue is probably gonna send some cav marches to kill the gatherers. That's how they neutralize the insatiable desires. More traditional rally here. We got Attila and maybe Nevsky from Red, and we got a Zenobia and Theo in garrison. Now the Theo garrison in this situation is pretty good. You know what the Theo is doing? Killing all the marchers around. So everyone that's swarming, she is kind of hitting all of them. And that Jiska, I think he could have tried to save that for the garrison if they take it, but then now that it doesn't look like the rally is gonna win, I think he decided to go in. And that's a Jiska Saladin, so probably not intended for garrison, so that's just for open field, I guess, because it's a Saladin behind. It's not a YSS or anything. Jiska Saladin garrison, it's not the worst, but not the best either. Alright, so the rally wasn't successful, so Red, I think, unfortunately doesn't have it. 74 NV used. 74 NV felt they're under pressure. No, I don't think they felt they're under pressure, because now they know there's not going to be an arc, so they have to use the points. So they just use the points on this building over here, desert altar. They use the Valiant Stands, I think, Valiant Stand, the skill which makes it stronger, the garrison stronger, so it's going to be harder for Red to take it down. Now Blue probably didn't need it. Blue has a lot of marches around here anyways. Yeah, so Blue is not losing that building. Blue is not losing the sky altar either. So Blue is the 2 altars under pressure. Blue is gonna hold on to both of them. What about Red? The sky altar, is it under pressure? Not really. The Red sky altar is not under pressure. I mean, there are a few marches, not that many. So that's not really under pressure. the Archer Rally, Henry and Nebu on the Shrine of War, Red Shrine of War. That's not gonna do much either. Now, because we kind of went half for the first 30 minutes, we went on one match, and for the second 30 minutes, we went for a different match. We didn't really get to talk too much about the strategies. We are now more focusing on the action because, you know, we are taking bits and pieces out of it. But then we see the Joan Attila rally again. Again, it doesn't really feel like it's, you know, it's the best rally ever, because we don't really see the top teams doing it, and this rally, it doesn't look like it's doing anything exceptional either. Now there's more blue marches coming in. There are more blue marches coming in. Maybe they can reinforce. Nah, there's more red marches in, so blue probably doesn't take the desert altar. So even building game with no possibility of another arc. Even if you get the arc as soon as it spawns and no one contests, like in 20 seconds you're not gonna be able to go to a building. It probably takes like, you know, 5 seconds to pick it up, and then at least like half a minute to walk back. So definitely that was the last arc. We are looking at Ziska and, well, Jen and YSS in Garrison now against a Joan and Nevsky. So this is the most common rally that I'm seeing in Ark nowadays. Joan and Nevsky as with Joan primary. Isan 74 NV win. They have the Ark. Yeah, they win for sure. So they scored the Ark now already, and there's a 4,000 point difference in the last 6 minutes. With even with insatiable desires like farming a lot, I don't think Red has it. Wyoming, I told you, bro, to bet against 1021. You know what? In this match, I did not bet 1021 Wyoming. In this match, I did bet on 74 NV, and I wasn't really thinking about 1021 when I put the bet in. I put it in thinking that 74 NV did so well against JST. So a team that does so well against JST, I mean, as much as they didn't win, to do that well against JST, you had to be a good team. So that's why I put it on 74 NV. Now 1021 is a strong team. 1021, they won the last game, right? The Blackpink, I'm pretty sure they won the last match. So it's not like they're a bad team or anything. Malicious, I put 3.5k on 1021. The other one, yeah, the other one is the second team. But then again, I mean, the other team is not really facing 74 NV. They are facing TR though, so TR 1254. I mean, that's not easy. But TR lost the first match somehow. For some reason, TR doesn't feel that strong this time around in OL. So, maybe good luck to you. Hopefully, Wyoming. I saw their last match. They didn't perform as good as this round. I bet against them. Yeah. Now guys, this match is over. We got 5 minutes left, but this match is surely over. You know what we should do? We should go and take a look around the other matches. I know there's a chance we can't get in, but then this match is surely over. 4,000 points difference. There's no chance Red can kind of overcome this. There's like no chance. Points per minute going into 74 NV's favor as well. So we quit. And we try to check out the other matches. Even if we don't get to see other matches, we kind of check the scores and see how everything is going. If anything, we try to jump in. So Samsung clear winner, JST obviously clear winner, 1V obviously real winner, NanV, I definitely expected NanV to win. So that's why we're not even watching that. This is pretty close. DVL versus Solar Family, 1044 versus 1412. This is pretty close, but Solar Family probably has it with 5 minutes left or 4 minutes now. We saw the 74 NV match. 74 NV definitely has it. We go into Anubis and see if there's any close matches that we want to see. Nope. There's nothing remotely close in Anubis. So the match that we thought is going to be close, CPFW versus LX17, with exactly the same power. CPFW won by showing major dominance, and this is what I was talking about, guys. 2386 is a very strong KD. So there's no other close matches here. No other close matches here either. Well, this was kind of close. 85 AD. Kind of don't know them, so not checking. You live stream TR versus Blackjack? No, I can't, because I got my match at the same time. So for today, this is the last live stream, so we're not going to be streaming the 15 UTC. 15 UTC, I got to play my own match, so not streaming that. Okay, the Solar Family match is not close anymore either. So none of the matches are close anymore. So guys, I think we're gonna call it a day here because none of the matches are close anymore. We kind of saw 2 matches, half and half. So we watched the 74 NV versus 1021 Blackpink. 1021 Blackpink played pretty good. It was a close match, but 74 NV kind of edged out. And the other match that we watched, which was the starting match, which was CPLW versus no, LW we didn't watch. We watched CPFW. So CPFW versus LX17, and that was a walkover almost by CPFW with a major showing and winning. So yeah, watch out for 2386. All right, guys, so we're gonna call it a day here. Thank you for being here on stream, and thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next one. Bye for now. Good night.